Good morning. This is Miss Tina from the Sheboygan Falls Library. Today we're talking about clothing and what we might wear in the summer, winter, fall, and spring. Sometimes it looks very differently. We are going to start with our first song. Hands go up and hands go down, I can turn myself around. I can stand up on one shoe, I can listen, so can you. I can sit, I'll show you how. Story time is starting now. All right, so we're in winter right now, and one of the things that we wear on our hands to keep our hands warm is a mitten. Looks like this. And a glove has every individual little finger in its own little hole. So we're going to start with the mitten, written by Jan Brett and also illustrated by Jan Brett. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. At first, his grandmother Baba did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally, Baba made them. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound. But then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went. And it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled, but when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. Look at how big the mitten is getting. It's stretching and stretching. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be. But what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged to many times its size. But Baba's good knitting held fast. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Ka-choo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. There's Nicky. On his way home, Nicky saw the white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he had his new mittens. And there she is looking at the mittens. One's normal size, and the other one's really, really big because it was stretched out by all the animals. All right, I have some riddles for you today. Let's see how well you do with these. Okay. We're for puddles, rain, and snow. Put us on, and off we go. They go on your feet. What do you think they are? They're boots. Right, good job. On your nose we rest. For sunny days we are the best. What am I? If the sun is really bright, you might put these on and wear them. What do you think? Sunglasses. Yeah. When the rain falls from the sky, put me over you to keep you dry. So it has a long handle and you pop it up to to protect you from the rain. It's an umbrella. I'll keep you warm when cold winds blow. Button or zipper me, and off we go. What would you wear outside that keeps you nice and warm? It might have a zipper or some buttons. Yep, a coat. Yeah, that one's bright yellow. A belt or a pocket you can find on me, or perhaps a patch upon my knee. What am I? So, goes on your legs and it keeps them warm. You can wear them in the spring fall and winter. Sometimes when it's cooler at night in the summer. They're on the bottom part of your body. They're pants, right? Long or short sleeved, blue or red, slip me over your head. What am I? So what do you think? It can be long sleeve, short sleeve. It goes over the top part of your body. I'm wearing one today. It's a t-shirt. Good job. If you take a look at my pictures back here, I have, let's see, these would be for the winter. We've got a heavy coat and a scarf, and there's some snow there. Mittens, remember gloves have all fingers separate, and a hat. And then it starts to warm up, and it's kind of rainy out. The grass starts to turn green and the flowers start to grow. This would be more spring weather that we wear, boots and coat and umbrella. And then it gets really, really hot outside and the sun. So you might wear some flip-flops or sandals and shorts and a t-shirt, maybe a hat on your head or sunglasses to protect your eyes, shade you. And then the weather starts to turn cool again, and this would be more fall type clothing. We've got pants here and a long sleeve shirt, and maybe it's not quite cold enough to wear a heavy coat, so you might put on a vest instead and some tennis shoes. All right, my next story isn't about clothing. Actually, it's about kind of like not wearing clothing. This is one of my favorites. It is Naked by Michael Ian Black, illustrated by Deb Ridpath-Oy. So here's the little boy, and he's in the tub. Let me just slide you here. Okay, and he is naked because you can't wear clothing in the tub. Look at me, everybody, I'm naked. He's all done with the bath. Woohoo! Naked, 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 naked. Running around naked, sliding down the stairs. You guessed it, naked. Eating a cookie totally and completely naked. I should dress like this all the time. I could go to school naked, play on the playground naked. He'd be kind of cold, right? Do the hokey pokey naked. Pants. Who needs pants? Or shirts or shoes or capes? Wait, capes? Caped. Look at me, everybody. I'm caped, flying through the air, caped, fighting evildoers, caped. And here it says, bad guys headquarters. So his stuffed animals are the bad guys. Eating another cookie, mostly naked, but also caped. Being naked is great, but being caped is even better. Except that now I'm cold, cold, shivering in my bedroom, cold, sneaking downstairs, cold, eating one last cookie, cold. Maybe I should put on some pants and a top and maybe these slippers and maybe take off the cape. Nah, the cape stays on. Awesome! And now I am exhausted. And now I am asleep. All right. Thank you for joining me today. Next week, we will be talking about, oh, I should have had this right, feelings. And I'll have some fun stories for you there. We have our end song to finish up. We're going to tickle the stars, tickle your toes, turn around, and tickle your nose. Reach down low, reach way up high. Story time is over, so wave goodbye. Thanks for joining me this week. I'll see you next week for feelings.